Hello everyone, I'm Brian. Today I'm going to be reacting to Sadhguru. Talks about 9 avatars, rare footage. Okay, so I absolutely love this guy. I'm not sure about the 9 avatars. I'm guessing it deals with Hinduism and the different deities. To let you know ahead of time, I don't believe in any deity. Is there a possibility that there's out there? Maybe, but as for now, there's no evidence for it. But I'm curious as to what it has to say. I am 100% for stories that has been passed down to help people heal or to live better lives. 100% for that. I'm assuming this might be it. So anyways, let's go ahead and give this video a shot.
You heard of the 9 avatars? Or avatar means only a Hollywood movie for you. What has happened? 9 manifestations of the divine. The first manifestation in the form of a fish, life underwater.
Okay, I will say I'll be pausing it a lot because some of the videos that I put out where I didn't pause it enough, it got blocked or copyright. So in order to prevent that, I will have to pause it. And also I talk a lot in his videos because he says so much truth, and I want to weigh in my opinion before he says it to see if my opinion and his line up, which so far has, except for a few times, which is just because I answered it differently, I guess.
The second manifestation,
So
tell
fish
me
is the
what's your
first.
avatar is?
Whoa. I never seen this in any of the temple videos or places to visit of India. Is this like legit? It has to be. I see people there. Why is this not on the list of places to go? Hopefully this music's not copyrighted, but man, for an old person, he is very, very healthy. Spruce. Very energetic, which is amazing.
There is a place in the Himalayan region, approximately around 14,700, 14,800 feet above mean sea level, which is known as the Kanti Sarovar. Kanti Sarovar means a lake of grace. It is called a lake of grace because this is where the first yoga program happened over 15,000 years ago.
It would make a very nice view and a very nice place. I have a feeling I'm not going to be pausing this as much because I don't know if I have much to say about this. Hopefully it doesn't get completely blocked. Copyright claim is fine.
The first yoga program, this was the site, the bank of this Sarovar. There are a whole lot of stories why geographically it happened here, because Adi Yogi was not here earlier, he was elsewhere. It's lots of stories, but I will not go into the stories, okay? So, he happened to be there on the banks of this lake, and this is where, with 7 disciples, he started his first yoga program. This place is very significant in the whole planet. This place is very significant because it's in this place, for the first time, a human being perceived that if we strive, we can evolve.
Okay, don't have much to say. Again, I just still have to pause or try to pause so it doesn't get completely blocked. That's what I'm hoping for at the very least.
Adi Yogi, when he spoke about evolution, I know.
That's very interesting, evolution.
The theory of evolution is 150 years old.
It's very young.
Last year was the 200th birth anniversary of Charles Darwin. At the age of 54, he propounded, so it is less than 150 years old. But Adiyogi spoke about the evolution in a certain way.
That is interesting. I know a lot of people have made comments about debates with scientists and stuff, which is kind of, I will say, to me, it just doesn't make sense. But I'm curious. It's just the videos are so long that I would have to find a way to cut them up into pieces because they're just really, really long.
He said,
this makes sense with the evolution,
first,
really.
The divine manifested in the form of fish, life underwater. You heard of, at least the Indian people, you heard of the 9 avatars? Or avatar means only a Hollywood movie for you. What has happened?
Yeah, the subtitle on this is definitely Google Translate, and it is not that good.
Manifestations of the divine. The first manifestation in the form of a fish, life underwater. The second manifestation, tell me what's avataras? Matsya avatara and then what?
Reptile?
Kurma avatara, which means a turtle. That means an amphibious life.
True, yes.
The second manifestation of the divine is amphibious, half in, half out.
Out, not
the
hard.
The third manifestation is Varahavatara, divine manifested in the form of a boar. Why a boar? Why it's being referred to as a boar, the third manifestation is…
Boar.
Among the mammals, which is the basis for the making of a human being.
Okay, wow, that's interesting. And there is reference to science in this one. That's… wow.
Later on. Among the mammals, one animal which is most strongly rooted in its body is a pig. You can't kill a pig easily, do you know this?
They squeal quite loud, really loud.
See, in where we are, the yoga center, the tribal boys, they're going to school, if they see a deer, 3-4 of them corner it, with a stick, they'll kill it. One thing, they will kill it. So easy to kill a deer. But a wild boar is not like that. You break its body, it will not die. It's very, very strongly rooted in his body. So if somebody is very physical, you say, oh, he's like a pig.
A boar, I guess. In America, if he's very strong, you don't say he's a pig. Pig is generally, at least in America, I can't speak for everyone, I'm just kind of making an assumption here that pig are generally like fat, lazy, you know. Boar is different from a pig, even though I think they're kind of in the same family. Boars are very dangerous, where pigs, not really, because they don't have tusk like a boar does.
Because physically, it's a very rooted life. So the next form of the divine is Varahavatara as a wild boar.
Okay.
What's the next one? Narasimhavatara, which is half man and half animal form. The next manifestation of the divine is Vamanavatara, a dwarf man. Next one is Purusharamavatara, a full-fledged man but emotionally volatile man. So volatile, he lopped off his own mother's head.
Whoa!
Such an angry man.
So a very volatile man. Is it because as he was transitioned from animal to man, even though his transition had always had animal parts, half animal, half human, and then half human, he was still relatively animal, and then when he became full human, his mental state was still animalistic. Is that what he's saying?
The next one is Ramavatara, a peaceful man. The next one is Krishnavatara, a loving man. Next one is supposed to be the Buddha, a meditative man. The next one is supposed to be a mystical human being. So this need not necessarily mean that one person. They're talking about humanity evolving, life evolving in a certain way. So this Adiyogi said over 15,000 years ago. Does it run very much parallel to Darwin's theory of evolution? Yes or no?
I mean, I would say no, just because I don't know, can't quite remember what Darwin's precisely said, but the general thing that's always said is survival of the fittest. So if what he's saying is all those species or all those evolutions or forms are the survival of the fittest, then yes. But if it's just an evolution without a survival aspect, then I think no. But then again, I'm not. The only thing I'm very familiar with Darwin is survival of the fittest, and the fittest doesn't necessarily mean the strongest either. It could be the more intelligent, the more cunning, or the most adept, not necessarily the strongest.
It's nearly there, isn't it?
Oh, well,
in fact, it's very much there.
Well,
so this was said.
Technically, if it's survived through the years and constantly evolved, then it is survival of the fittest. Okay.
15,000 years ago, not 150 years ago. And then he said, as human beings, physically you have evolved to a point, further evolution is not possible unless some dramatic changes happen in the solar system. It's very uncanny. About 4 years ago, the neuroscientists came up with this fact that human brain cannot evolve further. You can learn to use it better, but it cannot evolve further because the only way it can evolve is either you must increase the size of the neuron to become more capable, or you have to increase the number of neurons.
Okay.
If you increase the number of neurons, clarity will be lost. This happens to many children. When they are born, they're brilliant, but they can't do anything properly because there is no clarity. It takes some time to shed some of the neurons, reduce the number of neurons in the brain, and then they become stable. But otherwise, they're all crackling, they can't do anything straight because there is no clarity.
Well, usually, is he saying along the lines like how we form memories and how we do things is how neurons are connected in our brains. So to lift up your arm is a very specific neuron firing, a very specific pattern. Or to if you try to recollect something from the past, if you remember that, a very specific set of neurons fire in your head. Every time you think of that memory, those same neurons will fire. Every time you lift up your arm up and down, those same neurons will fire.
If you increase the size of the neuron, the power or the energy that it consumes is too much. Right now as you sit here, in a resting state, when you sit down, 20% of your calorific energy is being consumed by your brain right now, even if it's not doing anything very creative.
Because you have other systems going on in your body that you don't consciously control, it's just kind of automatic.
Yes, in a resting state, 20% of your energy is being consumed by your brain because brain is a very high energy consuming part of your body.
And it's a small relative to everything, but it consumes a lot of calories.
20%.
Not enough in my sense, because I can beat that
It's a small thing. So much body consumes 80%. This much brain consumes 20% of the energy. If you increase the size of the neuron, the volume of energy that it consumes will become such the body cannot sustain it. So neurologists are saying human brain cannot evolve further because the physical loss will not allow it.
And that's one thing I've also heard, that the reason why our brains grew so much is because we were capable of consuming a lot of calories, and therefore our brains was capable of evolving, doing more.
The laws of physics will not allow it. So he said physical evolution is finished according to the laws of physics. That's a modern statement. Adiyogi said, unless the dynamics of the solar system changes, which means unless the physical laws change on the planet, evolution cannot go further than this. But you can evolve in ways which are not physical, and there is a way to do it. If you strive, you can evolve. this is the most dynamic and creative process for a human being, that the way you are right now, whatever limitations nature has fixed upon you right now is not concrete, is not 100%. If you strive, you can cross these boundaries.
And I was trying to think about that and my thoughts on it. Whatever limitation nature has on you is not 100%. You can strive to beat it. Overcoming obstacles is the thing that I think of. But I'm not too sure what he's saying about nature, overcoming nature's obstacles, when nature is kind of set, I guess, unless he's talking about something else. Let's see.
So this idea and the possibility of evolution and the technologies to evolve, as to what you can do to evolve, this happened on the banks of this Kanti Sarovar, about 6 to 8 kilometers above Kedarnath. It's not a touristy place, it's something you have to trek in the snow, otherwise you won't make it.
Okay, dang, there was something I thought of that I wanted to say. Oh, actually, I remember now. Okay, so I'm wondering. Actually, I was thinking about this some time ago when I was playing a certain video game, and it goes along the lines of what he said. Like we are doing things to our body to not necessarily evolve it, but to better it, like vaccines and stuff. And if what it's saying is true, then it makes me think, what is the word? Is it Android or Cyborg? Is it Cyborg? Basically, where we start meshing with computers, metals, machines. That's the word. So basically, where in order to increase our brain capacity, we start integrated CPU chips into our minds, or hardware into our minds to make our brains faster or hold more memory, or to do certain things, and then to make us stronger we start there's already suits out there that they look like what do you call it, not necessarily Iron Man suit, but they're just like what looks like a metal piece, and what you do is you grab, and the metal piece has well, it's something to help you lift more things. So it's an integration of man and machine. Wow, actually, now I just thought about this because he was talking about the evolution of man from fish to turtle to boar to animal. Fish, turtle, boar, half animal, half human, halfling, basically a half human, a raging man, a was it a can't remember, a loving man was one of them. I think that's the next one. This one was like compassionate or something, loving, and then the ninth one was a Buddha. And I think the last one is, now that we are no longer capable of organically evolving, I'm wondering if it's going to be machine integration evolution. It's kind of scary to think about, but like nanomachines to help us with internal injuries. You just inject this nanomachines to program it to repair internal bleeding, or to remove tumors, surgically, without having to do something so invasive. That might be the next avatar, the 10th avatar, maybe. I don't know. Maybe there's only 9. I don't know. But it actually, because that kind of blew my mind, is the fact that the evolution of man was from simple fish, which was not organic evolution, to, because of what he just said, that I don't know if it's true or not, that we no longer can evolve anymore unless something changes, which could be the machine, the cyborg, where we start integrating machines into our body, which could be the next avatar or evolution. Let me know in the comments, what do you think about that? It's kind of scary, but at the same time very interesting. Anyways, that's all I have to say about Sadhguru talks about 9 avatars. Very interesting. If you like my content, please consider subscribing. Thumbs up, thumbs down below. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next vid.